Hey everyone, how do I look? Decent enough? I hope so, because this is being filmed on the nice camera setup that I've been enjoying using. What you're about to see is going to be about the nice camera setup, which means I can't use it. So the rest of this video, prepare for it to look like crap. Salute. Hey everyone, what do I got here? Some people have asked me about my filming setup in the past. Sometimes you see it in the background of like photos and things that I tweet when Tara and I are doing something at our table here in the living room, and I've never actually broken it out for you. It's grown over the years. It's definitely something that used to fit in a tiny bag and then a little bit bigger, kind of like a mini rifle case. Now it's in a proper rifle case. That's mostly just because of a couple big items, though. I think overall, what I show you will be pretty shockingly cheap, and yet it's very effective. So, big stuff first. It's all just lights and tripods, right? We've got a couple of these large, expandable light boxes. They are by no means the best. Nowadays, you see a lot of people like to use, LED kind of panels or even ring lights. They're great. These are cheap, though. They snap together, they pop open, they take, just a simple mount on top of a tripod. You got a little white screen on top of them. Super easy to set up. So I've got two of those in there. What kind of tripods? Again, super, super cheap. These came with the light box. Third one for a camera, Amazon Basics. Doesn't get any simpler than that. They all have the same 1/4x20 screw that every freaking product has on top of it. So yeah, easy peasy there. And that's it for the big stuff. Everything else, frankly, just fits in these pouches here. Starting with light bulbs. I've got a couple different light bulbs for those big light arrays. They came with some special like daylight quality. They look like little compact fluorescents. They got broken, beat up over the years, and just for a little bit more robustness, LED. Again, like you can get super daylight bright white LED. These work just fine, and again, like you're never really gonna wreck them. I wouldn't fly with this. Maybe I might put these in a slightly harder case. But we also have kind of more of a warm glow. This is what you see me using most of the time, actually, when I film. Again, LEDs, but nice warm glow, adjustable. I can do one and then the other. These are cheap items. I'll throw links, of course, down below for all this stuff, right? None of them are sponsored links. I never sponsor anything. I make my own money elsewhere. This little pouch right here. This is the real meat of the operation. Everything that I film nowadays, I pretty much film on a GoPro. Well, except this, right? I've got a little Hero 8 black. It's in, and I think you've seen me tweet about this before, right? It's just in a little mounting cage. I can access all the buttons easily. I can access the battery door easily. I like this way more than the GoPro Media Mod. It has just a built-in little slot where I can reach the audio jack, and everything else I need to do, I can just attach into there. I do have a small lens mount for it, and if I want to use the polarizer or something, just to kind of snap that on, make things look a little extra crisp during certain conditions, sure, I can do that. But literally, this is what powers almost all my stuff now. It's great for filming. It's not great for audio, however. So, how do we tackle the audio? Let's look into this pouch. On the outsides, simple power. Again, with something like this, with this little array of just blah parts, I can stand this up in any hotel room, in anybody's living room. I can just make a set really quickly, even if power is not right next to where I am. What do we got in here? Boring stuff first. Never think that you don't have a need for some spike tape. Again, like marking people's position on the floor if you need people to come together, stay close in a shot or something, or even just, you know, taping up little signs. How many times I've written like a quick script to myself and just like taped it right to the tripod that I'm looking at so that I can, rattle off. Those are the things, 6 things I wanted to say about this particular bottle of whiskey. Done. In here, we've kind of got mounting and bracketing hardware for cameras and accessories, and we've got sound. In the mounting hardware, obviously, if I'm using the GoPro a whole bunch, one of these little action mounts, we're going to need one of those, right? So you can actually mount the GoPro to what you're doing. This little kind of, you know, cell phone clamp expander. Both of these I keep on top of these super articulating ball heads that I can just swing rapidly to any position, snap them back in. Again, they were inexpensive, they were available, but they hold like frickin' iron when you lock them down. Thanks to Lockpicking Lawyer, I understand the virtues of being able to have a little bit more of a swing arm. And again, stuff like this is cheap on Amazon. It is not hard to get yourself in a pinch where something like this, you can just articulate it around and resolve it really quickly. Spare crap. You know, you get a bag of extra, okay, so I can mount 2 cold shoes back to back. I can throw a GoPro mount on something, a couple of extra audio splitters, just, you know, bag of spare shit. And likewise, a couple of, like, these are things I could almost get rid of at this point, right? But they're just a couple of other extra cell phone mounts. If I needed to somehow throw an extra, I don't know what it's, use my cell phone and the GoPro or something. This used to be in my laptop bag. This used to be my sort of, I can just bust out my my camera, my phone on one of these little mounts like this. I'll show you what I have in my laptop bag in another video. It's what I'm using to film this. And then notice none of these are big ticket items, right? The most expensive thing you've seen thus far is the GoPro. This and one other thing are frankly the magic frickin' sauce right here. For audio, I've gone through a ton of microphones over the years, right? I even have a whole bunch of nice microphones in here. I've got a Shure, I've got some other wired phones in here, I've got a couple little adapters because again, whether you're using 4 conductor or 3 conductor, or you using a cell phone mostly, or you're using a proper camera, you can convert back and forth, but really, I don't have to use any wires at all anymore practically. This sucker, this little setup. The Rode Wireless Go. Again, this is not sponsored content, right? But just having a little wireless link, you know, there's your receiver. This is going to plug in to whatever I'm using. In most cases, that's the GoPro. So I can just mount it on the cold shoe. Bam. GoPro gets audio from this, which is being fed by this. This, honestly, has a better microphone than almost anything else I ever use. Yes, I can pipe a microphone into this. I can wear a lavalier or something, but I don't need to. This just blows me away now, and you start seeing this little clip on my collar more and more because it's just what I like using. They all take USB-C. Everything in my life only exclusively takes USB-C. That's all I will ever use from now on in future. And I think you saw it in there. I do happen to have a charger. I've got some USB-C cables, an extra dead cat or 2. This guy, you're gonna get a kick out of this. This is the last little trick up my sleeve. What is this? Well, you know, it's just a cold shoe rail. You can slide different cold shoe accessories on. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, by the way, a cold shoe is just a mounting standard in professional photography world, which, by the way, I'm fucking not. You'll see a lot of cameras would have a clamp where you could actually affix on, let's say, an external flash or something. That's called a hot shoe. It's actually providing power to a mounted device on top of a camera. Well, you can also have a cold shoe. It's just a slot that doesn't really provide any power of any kind. It's just this. It's a form factor, right? It's a certain form factor of slot. So a lot of little devices can kind of snap in there. Well, these little cold shoe devices, sometimes you want to get a bunch of them. So you'll have a mounting piece like this, and you'll actually rail up a whole bunch of them together. This dumb little rail, you know what I use this for? This was some other YouTuber's trick, and I'll give them credit. If you want to do like an interview with somebody with a stick microphone, you can kind of go, yes, what were you saying about that? Okay, well, how about, what, do you have an opinion? Do you, well, here, let me talk right into this. You can stick a dead cat on the end of it if you need to. And yeah, it's like having a little interview mic that you can just use in a pinch, and it doesn't look half bad. If you're just, yeah, okay, or back to me. So I love that trick. I think it's really fun to do. But this is it. I can pack all this up in minutes. I can unpack it and completely deploy it in a room in a few minutes as well. And it's like a whole traveling little studio. And that's all I've ever used to bring you most of this content. Frankly, it's only recently I've started using a lot of this, the GoPro especially. What did I used to do? How did I make this content for you before? Well, that's going to be the subject of next time's video because, well, that's what I'm filming on now, just a janky old camera and a crappy tripod. But I'll talk to you soon. I'll give you some more tips. I hope this was fun, and I will see you all later. Stay safe out there.